Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Stats and Chats. I'm Jason.
And I'm Bella. This week we'll be talking about all things money. So, bing, bang, boom, let's get started.
It's like your favorite subject.
Yeah.
Hey, back in the saddle.
Yes.
Yes, been a hot
We're
minute.
back, baby.
I know. Nice shirt.
Thank you.
A little.
Got it at Futures.
There you go. There you go.
Established 1794, Vols, Tennessee, and it has a Tennessee football helmet on.
Yes, it does. Good memories.
Good memories from like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Well, hey, man.
Actually, it's been like 3 weeks, low-key.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's been an eventful month. We could take a couple of hours to review it all. So we're not going to do that. But it's been a great month and excited to be back.
Yeah.
All right. So a couple of things before we dive into our big topics for the week. School started last week.
Yes.
You want to share a brief update? How are things going?
Things are going pretty fantastic. Practice has been great. Yeah, that's basically my life. School is good. I start dual enrollment tomorrow.
Yeah.
Which I'm excited for, I guess. I was just doing my calculus homework, which is like a foreign language because it's literally different than anything I've ever learned in my life. But I think I have a calculus brain because it like low-key makes sense.
Wow.
So
that's
a good thing.
You did not get that from me. So congratulations.
Well, I definitely didn't get it from mom either. So
that's really cool. Yeah, and dual enrollment's fun.
Yeah, it'll be fine, I guess.
Cool. Different.
Yeah.
University of Florida coming in hot.
Yes.
That's cool. Yeah, and practice started and right back in the routine. Do you feel like you're in the routine yet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting to it. I think I'll be in even more of a routine though once high school swim starts.
Yeah.
Because that is kind of my routine for like the first semester of school.
Yeah. First couple of months. First meet is next week, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
Next Wednesday.
Cool. Good deal. Good deal. All right. So we're off and running. It is already kind of, sort of, almost fall. Doesn't feel like it outside.
It does not.
But that's what the calendar says.
Does not. Definitely
not. This is the time of year where Florida, at least Central Florida, transitions to feeling like a swamp everywhere you go. Meanwhile,
that's why I want to leave.
Okay. All right. No
Just
hate.
Kidding.
No hate.
Just kidding. I love Florida. I love Disney. I love the beach.
Yes. Good recovery. But yeah, now's the time of year where
it's also good in Florida. The Everglades. That was pretty cool.
Everglades was awesome.
That's not a beach.
Yeah. It was really cool. So yeah, August is kind of the time of year when I like to start thinking about fall and, leaves changing around the corner and a little bit of cooler weather, but that's just not the case. That's not the case here. No. It is the walking sauna for the next month or month and a half. Yeah. But that's okay. You know why? Because preseason football has started, baby.
Of course.
We don't need the weather. We just need the shoulder pads. So NFL preseason is on. It has started. You like that?
We just need shoulder pads? I don't like that. I'm sorry.
I mean, not like to wear them. Not us to wear them. Although they used to be a thing. Everybody used to have them. Can you believe that?
Weren't they in like blazers and stuff?
They were.
Like suits?
Yes.
Big.
All the things. Yes.
I wonder why. I wouldn't have even needed them because I have such big shoulders.
Yeah, you would have gotten them anyway.
Well, yeah.
It wasn't voluntary. It was involuntary. Everybody got shoulder pads. And they liked it. Yeah.
Including yourself?
Yeah, I mean.
Do you miss the days?
I don't know. No, I don't.
So you didn't like them that much then?
No. Well, at the time,
Is it a trend you would like to see come back?
Hard no on that. Hard no on the shoulder pads.
Is there a trend from back in your days that you would like to see come back?
Ooh, that is a great question.
Sorry, I'm just thinking of this on the spot. I didn't really prep you for this at all.
That is a great question.
Like clothing trend or any trend.
A trend of people talking to each other more.
Of course you're going to say that.
Sorry. You asked. Sorry, not sorry.
No, clothing trend.
No, I don't know. I'm going to come back to you with that. I'm not sure. I can't think of anything. Like, I always appreciated like cuffing my jeans, like the fold over and fold up.
Of course you did that.
Yeah.
You thought you were
yeah.
Cowboy,
with the Vans.
Definitely.
No, with Vans. I was living at the beach at the time. So
with Vans?
Yeah.
Did you skateboard?
No. I just looked like I did. Actually surfed.
Okay. That's actually, they're both kind of the same.
Yeah.
Both fire.
Yeah. Good question though. I like that.
Thanks. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to answer my own question, but I'm going to change my question.
Okay.
So if I was asked what trend I would like to see go away, that is trending right now.
Go away. Okay. That's a good question.
What trend I would like to stop, because right now, a lot of things that are trending that I actually really like polka dots and stripes, are kind of trending. In clothing, at least for girls, which I love because it's bright and fun a little bit. It adds a little bit more personality than bland shirts.
Sure.
So I like that, but something that I would like to see kind of leave is capris.
Not into it.
And I think part of that is because that just gives me a little bit of trauma from my childhood, because mommy used to make us wear the 3/4 length leggings. I don't know if you remember those. The 3/4 length pattern leggings from Old Navy.
Okay.
She used to dress
vaguely. Yep.
And I hated them. But I didn't know how to tell her that I wanted leggings that went down all the way to my ankle.
Oh, wow.
Because I didn't even know that those existed, really.
Wow.
But I hated them.
Wow. No kidding.
Yeah. But she used to just buy them for us, so I would wear them.
I mean, I think everybody wore them. Kind of like shoulder pads.
I don't know if everyone wore them.
I think they did. I
really don't know about that. I mean, maybe in elementary school, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
well,
yeah.
I'm sorry on behalf of both of us.
It's okay.
If you ever want to talk through it,
it's okay.
We're here for you.
I'm wearing full-length leggings now.
You are, yes.
So.
And very comfortable.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay.
So.
All right.
So the trauma has sort of disappeared a little bit, but
yeah.
I think that's why I don't like capris.
Okay. Well, I support that. I don't have a strong opinion, so
thank you.
I'll get behind yours.
Thank you.
Can we talk about Spider-Man real quick before we dive in?
Yes.
All right. So our last episode was pre Brand New Day, and we predicted first weekend revenue, and then the first weekend happened, and then we went to see it. What'd you think?
I thought it was really good.
I did too.
I really liked it.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah, 2 thumbs up, I think, from our house, or 4. We all went. So 4 thumbs up from our house.
Or 8.
Yeah. 8. Yep. So I said Spider-Man would do 225 million the first weekend. You said just over 200, and it ended up opening at $360 million that first weekend. Blew it away.
Yep. Kind of cray.
Yeah. Really, really, really cool. So even exceeded all of the predictions.
Yeah.
So we both blew it, but good news for Spidey is we blew it because it was that much busier. It was great. It was great. And then another Avengers movie before. Actually, they're already selling tickets. Can you believe it?
Actually?
Yeah.
That's great.
It's a December movie. And I need to still go see The Odyssey, which I think I'm going to go solo. So I'll let you know how that is.
It's a little bit too long of a movie for me to focus on or find enough
I
time.
don't know, man.
To do.
I bet I'm going to go. I'm going to see it. I'm going to come tell you need to go see it.
Okay.
To all of you. That's my prediction.
Okay.
Log it. All right. You ready to dig in?
Yes.
Go.
Okay, so my story in the week kind of has to do with what's going on in my own life right now. So, as many people know, I am in the process of being recruited because recruiting is going on this year. And I'm not going to talk about anything personal with me, but just wanted my story to kind of highlight some of the NCAA rules and all of that going into recruiting. And all of this will focus on D1. So there's separate rules for D1, D2, D3, and then NAIA also has their own set of rules. So it's like a whole thing. But yes, so right now, going in like chronological order. So first, at the beginning of the summer, June 15th, is when the recruiting window opens for swim. However, while this is the biggest group of sports where the recruiting window opens, it's not all the sports that open at this time. So swimming, soccer, volleyball, field hockey, water polo, gymnastics, golf all start June 15th before your junior year of high school. So those are the main ones that start on that date. September of your junior year is when softball and lacrosse is when their recruiting window opens. And then some other kind of special cases. For football, coaches can start sending material, but they can't actually make phone calls until September 1st. So that's kind of a little bit of an odd situation, but it's also kind of cool. But for the other sports that I listed that also start on June 15th, they can start making phone calls right away. There's open lines of communication there. Baseball opens August 1st of junior year. So a little bit after, kind of in the middle between September and June. So
interesting.
End of the summer, not the beginning of the summer. Women's basketball is September 1st of sophomore year. So they literally open a full year before softball and lacrosse, which is kind of odd to me. So that's just some of like the main sports that have a lot of different recruiting dates and kind of when those recruiting windows start opening. And then another thing in recruiting is a recruiting shutdown. So this is where there's no communication. So you can't talk to a coach in person, you can't text, email, nothing. Usually they coincide with start of school, holiday, breaks, championship season kind of things. So it gives athletes and coaches just kind of a break during those periods to get settled, focus on whatever they need to focus on. Then there's also dead periods, which they can text and email athletes, but they can't see them in person. So this is normally around like signing. So yeah, those are just kind of some basic important dates, things that happen during recruiting. Now getting into the money bit, because this is what I said I was going to talk about. So couple things. Starting in the 2025-2026 school year, schools were able to opt in to paying their athletes. They can share up to 22% of the revenue that they make with their athletes. They don't have to, but they can. So opting into this obviously comes with different conditions. They have to follow certain roster caps, things like that, opting into this. They started paying these athletes because the NCAA actually got sued by a former Arizona State swimmer and a basketball player. So they basically sued the NCAA saying, you are unlawfully profiting off of the television that we are doing for you.
Yeah.
So we are playing the sport, we are making the content essentially.
Exactly.
And you're streaming it and profiting off of it, and we don't get any of that. So they won, and so now schools can pay their athletes, because before this there wasn't even the option to opt in or not. It wasn't up to the school whether or not they wanted to pay or not. They couldn't at all. So it's kind of a little bit of an interesting detail there. And with this, obviously football gets the most money. So they get about 75% of what they can pay. Then men and women's basketball combined gets about 17%. So they're the next highest. And then the rest kind of gets filtered through the other Olympic sports. Another thing to keep in mind is that roster caps replaced scholarship caps in swimming. So in the NCAA for swim, the cap is 30 per gender. However, conferences can set their own roster caps. So for the SEC, for example, they set their men's roster cap at 22 instead of 30. So while the NCAA does their own roster cap, like that is the absolute max, conferences can lower that. So that just also kind of makes things a little bit more complicated. especially for men's programs, because they're normally the ones that are having less and less athletes available on their roster. So this kind of leads into my next thing. Men's swimming programs are shrinking. There's only 190 D1 men's programs and 210 women's programs.
Interesting.
Yeah. So there's kind of a gap there. And a lot of this has to do with scholarship money, and it has to be evenly distributed between men and women because of Title IX. So because football takes up the majority of men's scholarships, and there's not really a female equivalent to that, that can lead to the men's rosters being cut down, programs stopping because they can't pay them.
Right.
They have to make it equal.
Right.
And there's not a female equivalent to football in college at that scale. Obviously, there's flag football, which that's getting more and more scholarship opportunities as well, because
absolutely
they have the money for it.
Right.
They have the money for the women. So
right.
That's kind of a cool thing there, but that's why the men's programs are kind of getting cut, essentially. Another really interesting rule that is kind of related to money and how schools recruit athletes is athletes can only make up 49% of any dorm on campus. So they can't build luxury apartments anymore to kind of woo athletes into going to their school, because at that time, during the 70s and the 80s, they couldn't pay their athletes. So they were essentially building luxury apartments with a lot of amenities to kind of essentially say, hey, we can't pay you, but we're going to give you a bunch of stuff.
Those were the incentives instead of paying them.
Exactly, because they couldn't do that.
And it cost them a lot less than paying them, frankly.
Exactly. So, yeah, that's kind of my little spiel. Hope you found it all pretty interesting. So, what is one thing that you didn't know or learned about that kind of surprised you?
So, man, great summary. And I think to your point, and I think this is actually really valuable information, especially for families that have athletes that are going to school right now, that are looking at potentially continuing their sport in college. And frankly, a whole lot that we didn't know that we're learning through the process. So, yeah, great educational stuff. I think that has some great takeaways. And there have been a lot of surprises just in the last, 6 months, as we got closer to the recruiting window for you as our first student athlete in the family. And a lot of interesting stuff. I think for me, it's all been a surprise to some extent, but I think the roster cap piece probably near the top of the list, and how the structure has changed over time, because it used to be, and I remember when I was younger and dreamt of playing sports in college, it was about scholarships, and you could get onto a team if you made the team, but then it was a separate conversation about scholarships. And now it's more about roster caps and is a seat available. And it's interesting. I think it's fascinating. And to your point, I'm not going to repeat everything you said, but the caps per gender for different sports, and how the different sports and the revenue driven by the different sports, how that impacts different universities and the different choices that different universities are making around how they focus the money. Because how they focus the money, like most things, you follow the money. How they focus the money is what's going to drive what's important on campus. When it comes to everything, but certainly the topic we're talking about today. So I think that's probably the biggest surprise. But I think it's so fascinating and dynamic, and it continues to evolve, right? What it looks like, and I think about, obviously we've got a certain perspective as a family with a student athlete that is going along the journey, but I also think about it from a leadership perspective, and the things that different coaches have to think about, and different administrators and athletic directors. And I think the reality is those jobs are very different than they used to be even 5 years ago because of all of the changing dynamics. I also think about, your aspirations and salary cap management and leadership and analysis, and how important those skills are going to be, not just in professional leagues, but also in college sports moving forward as well. So I think there's a lot of cool stuff there, a lot of changes, information that we've all learned over the last few months that's really, really valuable. Yeah. What about you? What's been the biggest surprise?
I was talking to mommy about this earlier because I knew a lot of this stuff going into it.
Right.
But I think finding out what caused the NCAA to allow schools to start paying their athletes, because I didn't know about the lawsuit, that was kind of interesting to learn about.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, there's been conversation about the need for college athletes to be paid for years and years, and the penalties in the past, for different athletes, there's boosters out there that, especially with football players, and somehow, or even, high level basketball players that all of a sudden have money and nobody knows how they got it. But the reality is they are generating so much money. Yeah. So much money for these universities that something had to change. Now it's just a matter of trying to figure it all out, I think, in a way that is structured and logical and understandable for everybody involved.
Yeah, definitely.
But that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
But it's happening.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Great story.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. All right. I am pivoting to a whole different direction. And obviously, we usually focus on either F1 or football. F1's been off for a month. Yeah. Good thing is they're back this weekend, so we'll have our predictions at the end for the Dutch Grand Prix. But and football just started. Yeah. But I'm going to pivot to actually a listener suggestion. So thank you for the suggestion, listener. Hopefully you listen to this one, and talk about LIV Golf for a second. LIV Golf. So a little bit about LIV Golf for those that may not know. It's a fairly new. It was launched in 2022 as a Saudi-backed rival to the PGA Tour, right? So it was a completely different golf league that was meant to challenge the old school traditional PGA. Yeah. Huge guaranteed deals from the start that pulled over some of the biggest stars from the PGA to be featured on the tour, including Phil Mickelson, Brooks Koepka, Dustin Johnson, and more. So they had big names right from the start. The split, once they left, led to huge lawsuits and eventually to kind of a surprise announcement that the PGA and LIV would work together to kind of work in harmony, right? So that came in 2023, and then nothing happened ever since. Yeah. And fun fact, I remember when that announcement happened because the CEOs both appeared on CNBC that morning because it was a surprise announcement. Nobody expected it, to talk about the deal and talk about how excited they were. And then lo and behold, nothing ever happened after that. So it's 2026 now, and they're in a whole lot of trouble. So quick update. 2 days ago, LIV canceled their season-ending championship. So the last event, which was supposed to be the championship in Michigan, completely canceled. Yeah. So their event this weekend in Indy has now become the last event of the year. Yeah. But there's more. Back in April, Saudi Arabia, which funded LIV from the start, said they're done after this year. So back in April, so it was going into the season. So they still had the majority of the season to play. But they said, we're done after this year. Yeah. Okay. So big deal because of how much money they sunk into this to start it and to pay these top players. Yeah. Right. But at least they've got a year to figure it out. Yeah. Right. So they announced that in April. Since then, they canceled the championship and all the events around it because it's a championship. They announced that they had a new investor earlier this month coming in to continue to fund the tour in 2027, but they won't identify who it is.
Yeah.
They won't say how much money they're investing. Basically, no details.
Yeah.
So just a mysterious investor. And the deal isn't going to be set until September sometime. So nothing's in writing.
Yeah.
They announce a mysterious investor. Saudi Arabia's pulled out after this year.
Yeah.
They've already canceled the championship this year. They've announced a new tour structure for next year with 5 events in the U.S., 5 events internationally.
Yeah.
All without anything in writing.
Yeah.
Little suspect.
Yeah.
Maybe just a little. So big question marks, right? Questions across the board. Do they have the money? Are they going to get the money? Are they going to tell us who the investor is?
Yeah.
And how are they going to keep their players? Right? Because they've already had some of the biggest names leave. Brooks Koepka already announced that he was leaving before his contract expired. One of the biggest names in LIV. So he started the process to return to the PGA. Patrick Reed chose not to re-sign his contract. And this year, the PGA has kind of created a pathway for those players because, listen, when they left, it was kind of like a war at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
It was like there was animosity, and it wasn't like, cool, good luck. Yeah. I mean, the reason people go and watch is because of the players. So when half of the stars leave for another league, there's going to be animosity. So, but the PGA has already created a pathway for these players to come back to the PGA.
Well, because they want them there if they can get them there.
Of course. Well, and the money is no longer, at least as of today, the thing, right?
Yeah.
So that's where it's at. They had huge guaranteed contracts, massive purses, Saudi-backed money, billions and billions of dollars, all pulled. PGA Tour chugging along, just like it always has.
Yeah.
Right? For a while, it looked like this was all going to have to be settled in court. But now with all of these issues, it looks like LIV is on life support at best. So they've canceled the championship. They've canceled all the events. Original backers gone. New investor remains unnamed. So the question is, as an athlete, we've got 2 different money situations.
Yeah.
Right? You've got one where all kinds of money is being injected, but there's really no clear structure and simple answers to how it's being distributed. And then you've got another where billions and billions were invested for almost 4 years.
Yeah.
Now being pulled out with a whole lot of question marks around what's next. Which one's better?
I think NCAA. Because at least they're trying. Not to say that LIV Golf isn't trying, but like they're just kind of like, I don't know what other word to say, but like flopping. Like they're just kind of flopping.
Yeah.
It's just kind of done.
And we went.
And like, yeah, I forgot about that actually, but we did.
Yeah, we went a few years ago.
But like, at least the NCAA, like, they are trying.
Yeah.
Like they recognize the fault in it and how it is a little bit messed up. And obviously there's no clear fix to it.
Yeah.
Not every athlete is going to get exactly what they want, and you still have to prioritize the teams and the school at the same time because they still need money to fund the school.
Right.
So
yeah.
But like at least they're trying to find a solution.
Yeah. Well, there's hope.
Yeah.
And
And
the money's coming in.
They're already fixing things. Like,
right.
they're already trying to fix things.
Right.
So it's better than a scenario where nothing can be done.
Yep. Yeah. I agree. I think, we went a couple of years ago. There was one locally within walking distance, actually. And it was pretty cool. I mean, I think it was 150 degrees that day, but
I remember it being so.
outside of that, it was pretty cool. It was much different than a PGA Tour event. It was a lot more action. There's like music, and it was more of kind of like a cool rock kind of vibe while they're playing golf. I feel like the players were very interactive with the fans, and outside of the fact that it was 150 degrees, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Even though it wasn't on necessarily a top tier golf course.
Yeah.
But none of these signs look good at all, and I can't imagine any top player sticking around, even if it means having to miss a little time to get back to, steady and dependable. And I think that there's other options that have also come to the surface with indoor golf and, the project that Rory and Tiger have put together, like virtual indoor in the off season. So yeah, I fear billions have been wasted in some ways on LIV Golf, but we'll see. Next year I could be proven wrong, but yeah, I would definitely prefer to be an athlete with the challenges relevant to colleges right now than hooking on to LIV much further. Yeah. Interesting. All right. Predictions?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Dutch Grand Prix. It's been a month. Summer vacation for our drivers.
Oh.
I saw the Red Bull announcement. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did. Kind of crazy.
Yeah. We'll see. It's a shame after being off for a month, but
yeah. Especially because Isack was low-key doing good.
Yeah.
He was up there.
So Isack, for those that haven't seen it, which is probably a lot, Isack Hadjar is driver 2 for Red Bull, rookie season as driver number 2.
Yeah.
And
he was having a good season.
He was having a good season, especially for a rookie, and that seat's been tough to fill for Red Bull.
Yeah. But then he got injured.
And somehow he got injured. And I haven't, did you?
I didn't see how, but it must have been.
So
it was during the break. So
yeah. So somehow injured.
But then Liam Lawson came from Racing Bulls and took his place as the number 2 driver for Red Bulls because those teams are Racing Bulls is like
the minor
the
leagues.
Junior version of Red Bull.
Yeah.
So then they took Yuki, who was Max's second driver previously before Hadjar. So they took him to fill Liam Lawson's seat in Racing Bulls.
Next man up.
Yep.
Next man up.
It's like a little cycle.
Yep. Yeah. So hopefully, Lawson had driver 2 spot last year for a while and then lost it. So
yeah,
we'll see. But I feel bad for Hadjar because he was having a good season.
Yeah, definitely.
So all that said, we got a sprint race for the first time.
Yeah.
At Zandvoort. So some extra points available this weekend. Who's winning?
Okay, not really sure because Max has won this before multiple times.
3 times.
So he has the experience of the track to be able to win it again, whereas Kimi really doesn't.
Yep.
But I do feel like Kimi tends to be really good out of little breaks, when they have a week off and stuff.
Yeah.
So I also think he'll definitely do really well. So I would say one of them. But I do think that Lewis is going to win sprint. Because Ferrari's cars are just better built for sprint.
Yeah.
Than Mercedes or Red Bull, because they kind of play the long game a little bit.
Yep.
So I would say Lewis for sprint, and then Max or Kimi for GP.
Okay.
So that would be my guess.
McLaren finished strong.
Yeah.
Before the break. You are not confident.
I think they did well, but a reset helps everyone.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't think that they will be the same that they were right out of the gate.
Okay.
Because everyone's going to be better than they were.
Yeah.
And they were barely winning.
Yeah.
I mean, in his last race, he kind of won by a lot. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, when they were up there, it wasn't very often. It wasn't consistent enough.
Right, on the podium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I think the break allows everyone to reset, make adjustments to the cars if they need it, adjustments mentally, all like good things, but I think they're going to catch up to McLaren where they were before the break. So I don't think that they're going to win. I mean, I do think they could podium, but I don't think they're winning.
So back to normal for the 26-27 season.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. I think, listen, this is Max's home track, and I've been impressed with Max, and I think, some bad luck, but man, I love his mentality. So I'm picking Max to win. He's won the race 3 years in a row. I've got Kimi second. I've got Lewis third, and we'll see if Lando can get close. And I think he could, what happens with Russell.
I think he could pull it out in the sprint. Definitely podium.
Lando?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, but I like Lewis.
Yeah.
Podium or sprint too. So we'll see. It'll be fun. I'm just happy they're back.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. All right. So we've got that to look forward to. I believe the broadcast starts at 9 a.m. Eastern on Sunday. We've got a full weekend of preseason NFL action.
Yes.
We are 3 weeks out from opening day for the NFL.
So excited.
If you're playing fantasy, time to start studying. Yes. Hint, hint.
Hint, hint. If you're playing fantasy with us, hint, hint.
That's right. Coming at you.
Hint,
at you. Yeah. I think that's a wrap. Good to be back.
Yes. Be sure to like, follow, subscribe, leave a comment. We love to hear your feedback. All good things, just like Olaf says, on Instagram, Threads, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube, which, if you're hearing this right now, you're probably already doing one of those, so make sure to tell a friend.
There you go. Hey, can I just say one thing? Sorry. I want to give a shout out because I've run into a few different people over the last week alone that have never watched Ted Lasso. So Wednesday's the day it gets released every week?
No, it's Tuesday.
It's late Tuesday.
But we don't watch it till Wednesday because we have morning practice on Tuesday, so we got to go to sleep.
So if you don't watch Ted Lasso, start watching Ted Lasso. It'll make your life a little better.
Yes.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.